Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Come along for the ride. Let's see what we can get done today. We are still waiting on a belt to come in for this. It's supposed to be in on Friday. This is greased, filled with fuel, filled with government juice, DEF. And for the most part, it's ready to go other than the belt. Yesterday, we did get a delivery. I'm going to be working on this today. We got the new auger for the grain cart. It's going to be a little bit challenging because that auger's about 100 pounds and I have to lift the old auger out kind of on an angle, kind of like this, out of the machine, and it's about 80, I think it's 81 inches long. So I mean, it's a little over 6 foot, almost 7 foot. So it's got to come out at an angle way up above my head, and then this one's got to slide down in without damaging anything. So yeah, it's gonna be something. The first thing I got to get done is I have to put these guards and shields back on, and then that way I can move this combine out of the way and pull this grain cart up so I can, well, get to work on it. It's kind of dark back here, isn't it? I have to turn some lights on. I got the covers and shields and everything back on this thing, so I was getting ready to pull it out. I had to run back to the house for something, and when I got back, the John Deere salesman was here to chit chat and talk with me, so I spent some time talking with him, and so now I'm ready to move this. You guys know how it goes. Some days you get a lot done, other days you're doing PR basically. So we're gonna get this moved out now so we can get the grain cart up here and start taking that other auger out, or the old auger out, so we can get the new one in. Hey, come here, I want to show you something. You see that? Right there? That's right. Naturally, the wind's not blowing. Otherwise, I got the flag on. I had to build a, as you can see, I'm on top of the combine, up top. I had to build a custom flagpole here, and I had to do this because of the fact that it has to, when the hopper's folded down, it has to clear guide wires and things like that. So I was having a tough time figuring out where I wanted to mount the flag and how I wanted to mount it, things like that. So I built this so we can remove the flag to go down the road, because this is obviously too tall to go down the road to get underneath branches and things like that. But in order to remove it, all you got to do is pull this pin, and then the flag comes right off. This is low enough to travel, and you're all good. Put it back on, put that in there, slide this pin in there, it's done. Quick and easy. I had to put a patent on this. With a little persuasion, I was able to get all the bolts out and hopefully get it loose. In theory, I should be able to wrap a chain around this right here right now with the skid steer and lift this out, in theory. I'm gonna try that. I need to find a pair of gloves because this auger is very sharp, and most of you know my track record with sharp objects and fingers. I'll end up cutting my hand off or my finger off or something. So I need to find a pair of gloves and get a chain somehow securely wrapped around this auger so I can put some tension on it, go down there with the 4-foot pry bar and try and bust that off the gearbox. I will show you real quick the new auger here. As you can see, there's splines right here, and that's what's down at the bottom, and this is rusted on right now, so I need to break that free in order to lift the old auger out. So I'm gonna try and place you guys somewhere and try and remotely work the camera from my phone so we can kind of get some shots and see what'll happen here. So apparently my phone doesn't want to connect to the GoPro, so I can't control it remotely. So you guys are going to be in the cab of the skid steer with me, but facing out, so I can turn the camera on and off and whatnot, work the cameras while I'm trying to pop this out. I might just roll the camera and edit out a few things. I don't know how this is going to work, but we're going to do our best. So this is my maximum lift height with the skid steer, and I only got about half of that auger out, so I need to figure out ooh, that is sharp. I need to put something in here so I can let that down and not have the auger slide the rest of the way back in there. I gotta like lock it, maybe some vice grips or something on there just to kind of hold it. And then I could probably get on a pallet and manhandle it the rest of the way out, is what I'm thinking. Yeah, we'll do that. Alright, I found these small pair of vice grips. I locked that on there. I should be able to lower this down now and get the chain unhooked and then try and manhandle it the rest of the way out now. I've decided that standing on a pallet up in the air is probably not the safest way of doing it. Simply because of the fact that our pallets that we have are kind of been outside in the weather and they're nasty. So I think I'm going to put this loader back on, and I'll use this loader. I'll stand up in the bucket of it, and that'll work. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I got the bolt out that holds this auger in right there, this end piece. It slides in there with a bolt going through there, and I was able to get it out all right. I think what I did is I kind of soaked it with penetrating oil, and I think while that's soaking, I'm gonna go grab some lunch because I'm kind of hungry, and then we'll try and beat that out of there. I want to try and do it without using any heat because of the fact that that bearing on the end of that auger is still a good bearing, and I want to reuse that. So if I can get it out of there without using heat, then there's less risk of damaging that bearing. So I'm gonna go eat because, well, I'm hungry and I can. And then when I get back from lunch, we will try getting that end piece out and get it into the new auger. I got back from lunch and I beat on that a little bit on that into that auger. Yeah, that's a no-go. I'm gonna have to heat it. I'm thinking if I heat it in this general area right here, that'll loosen it up enough I can beat it out, and it'll keep that heat away from that bearing, and I might be able to spare that bearing. At least that's my hope. Well, I put it on time lapse for you guys to watch me heat that up and try and beat it out of there. Well, it's still in there. So I'm gonna have to do something different. I'm probably gonna have to grind it open and kind of try and spread it and get it out that way. But anyway, I put it on time lapse so you guys could watch, and yeah, it didn't work. This stupid camera shut off, blah, blah, blah. So, all right, figuring out something else to do here to get that out. It's out. The bearing has got a flat spot in it, so I'm not real happy with that. I want to change the bearing out just because of that. But the only way I was able to get it out was I had to literally grind this piece out. It's laying right there. I had to grind that out, pop it out of there. That spread it open just enough that I could beat it out with a hammer, and it was a pain in the butt. So now I got to get this shaft started sliding through the bearing just fine, and then I got to the very end and it stopped. I can't go any more with it. So I put some penetrating oil on there to let that soak. I'm going to hit it a couple times with a hammer and see if it pushes through, and if it doesn't push through, then I'm going to put it on a 40-ton press and we're going to make it go through. The auger actually could go in. Sorry about that, the camera just shut off on me. But anyway, the auger could actually go in because everything that I need to do with the bearing can be accessed up top there at the very top. Let me walk over and show you. Everything is right here at the very top. That's where the bearing is and everything. So I actually could put the auger in and get it set in place, and then we could deal with the bearing when it comes in right there at the top. That bearing again with some penetrating oil, and while that's soaking, I think I'm going to go ahead and put this auger in. I've got to take one bolt out of the end there, and then we can put it on the loader and put it up there. I think I'm just going to slide it in by hand. I think. That wasn't as bad as I was anticipating. Still heavy. I even got it hooked up on the bottom all right. That's good. So now I got to get this shaft out of the bearing. And I have a feeling I'm going to be saying some words that are not appropriate for YouTube. So I'm going to not film it. Okay, got the bearing out. I sat down in the truck and got on my phone and I ordered a new bearing. Not too bad, $57. Should be here in the next few days. I did, however, when I was getting out of the truck and stood up, it was like, whew, my back is killing me. So I think I might have tweaked it a little bit, but that's what happens. It is starting to get later in the day, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to back the equipment back in the barn here and then close the barn up and call it an evening. You guys take care. Thanks for watching. When the bearing comes in, I'll film putting the bearing in. We do have to do the poly plates on the head yet, and I've got the bearing for the plow coming in and the belt for the combine coming in yet. So there'll be more to film, and before we know it, it'll be harvest time. So thanks for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.